What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you tuning in. Today's going to be a quick one. I just want to go over one of my favorite pieces of equipment that will save your game meat or essentially anything else that's in your freezer, but really the hard-earned red gold, the game meat that you get, whether that's elk, deer, bear, caribou, any number of those things. You work really hard, you train all year, you get an animal down, you get it processed, and you want to be able to use that meat to feed your family, feed yourself, feed your neighbors, whoever it may be that you want to share it with. And you want to make sure that meat doesn't get spoiled. So we're going to get into that really quick, guys. This is something that's really important, but it's not a flashy piece of equipment or gear. So before we get into that, I do want to remind you that if you want to get entered into the giveaway that we have going on right now with Leupold, it's an SX4 Gen 2 65mm spotting scope from Leupold. Guys, these things are amazing. The glass is fantastic. You're going to want to get this if you're an archer, if you're a rifle hunter, whoever it may be. It's their smaller, more compact spotting scope, but will allow you to get digiscoping footage, confirm if that's the elk or deer or whatever animal it is that you want to go after. And I'm giving it to you for free, no purchase necessary to get entered. One lucky winner is going to win. All you have to do is subscribe, hit the link down below, get entered in to win this spotting scope. Once we hit 6,000 subscribers, I will be giving away this spotter. So let's get there, guys. We're really close, and I want you to be a part of that. Now, let's get into it here. So, guys, a thermostat or a thermometer. Simple, right? This little thing here, it's got even a little suction cup. I don't necessarily use the suction cup, but you can use the suction cup, and it is from AccuRite. So I just, full disclosure, bought this full retail off of Amazon. It really doesn't cost that much. I think it's $30 or $40. I will leave the link somewhere in here popped up that you can go and check it out, guys. It will support me if you use that link going over to Amazon. But in all honesty, let me just tell you a little bit here about what's happened recently. So I did buy a freezer thermometer just because I didn't want to lose the game meat. We invested in a new freezer, which is an upright freezer. We still have our chest freezer in case we need a backup freezer. But for now, that upright freezer does great. I love how you can keep things organized. You can move the meat from bottom to the top or top to bottom, however it is that you want to do. But essentially, the older meat I put up top so that I can use that first and essentially work down to the rest of the meat. So we had our Alaska fishing trip in there. We've got elk in there. We've got bear from a buddy of mine. We have moose. We have so much game meat in there. And one day I came home. I can't remember where we were at, but it was starting to warm up here recently. And, we've been doing a lot more in the garage, trying to organize the garage, which it looks like a crapshoot right now, unfortunately. Sorry, babe. I know my wife's like, you took over the garage. I'm figuring it out. I'll get there. But as of right now, with yard work and everything like that, we need extension cords, all of this, getting the sprinklers turned on, etc. A lot of moving parts. And so the way I had it set up previously was the thermometer that I had in the freezer was Wi-Fi enabled. It would alert to your phone, but it did have to be plugged in. It was not battery powered. And so I plugged it in, but I plugged it into a different part of the plug. So we've got the plug for the freezer, and then separate from that, I had a different plug set up, thinking that was the better option that would keep it from going dead when the freezer went dead, if that ever happened. And so essentially you have this thermometer to tell you when it gets above a certain temperature that you set on that thermometer, it will either send out some alarm bells, it will send you something to your phone, in this case, send you an alert, let you know to go check the freezer. Well, almost a week had gone by. I think it was 4 or 5 days had gone by after we'd done some yard work, and I started to smell this smell. I'm like, crap, like maybe we have a dead mouse in there. I've got to go dig out everything and figure out what's going on. And then I opened the freezer for something, and to my horror, things were thawing out, and that's where the smell was coming from. So essentially we lost the first 2 shelves, the top 2 shelves, and some of the 3rd shelf of meat out of that freezer. That's very unfortunate. We lost a lot of fish. We lost some game meat and a couple of other things in there. A lot of the ice that was in the top of the freezer too that we keep stored there had melted, therefore coating some of the lower shelves in a sheet of ice as it refroze going down to the bottom of the freezer. Very unfortunate event. So I cleaned out all the meat that had gone bad, that had thawed out, and kind of, figured out that what had happened was a lot of the moving parts essentially that extension cord had gotten pulled out of the wall, and both the plug for the freezer and the plug for the alarm were unplugged. And so I didn't get alerted that the temperature was going up in the freezer. So that's when I started looking for more of a battery powered option of freezer thermometer. So this is something that's really cool. It's very, I wouldn't say cheap, it's economical. I don't feel like these are cheap items here. They seem to work really well. I've messed around with them a little bit now, and I wanted to share them with you guys because, again, as we get into hunting season, as we get into just these warmer months as well, you want to protect the meat that you've got in the freezer currently and in the future as you fill your tags this year. So what we've got going on right here, guys, is we've got this thermometer, and I just dropped the little suction cup. But we've got this little thermometer. It is battery powered, so it takes two. This takes 2 AA's. I want to say the main hub that I'll show you guys in a minute takes 4, but you can set it to, you've got A, B, C mode, so you can set it with the main hub as to, is this, you'll know that the certain reading is coming from option B versus option A, etc. The whole manual's right here, guys. I'm not going to go through the manual for you. It comes with a great manual, gets you set up real quick once you put the batteries in it. But I do want to go out and show you kind of how we've got it set up in our freezer out in the garage. So I'm going to cut to that real quick, and then we'll come back here and wrap it up. So let's go right now to the freezer out in the garage. Okay, guys. So here we are. We've got the freezer. We've got this on the outside. So it is a magnet here on the outside. I'll go over that unit here in a minute. You can see it's reading -3 degrees. And then as we open the freezer here, you can see this is where I've got it set. So I had it suctioned and probably didn't clean off the side. It had frost underneath it and slipped off. So I just have it sitting right there. But as you guys can see, we've got our game meat here in the door as well. And down here at the bottom, there's the bear cape, etc. So this thing is huge. And anyway, we lost these 2 top shelves worth of meat, unfortunately. So I moved some stuff out up and down just to, anyway, reorganize a little bit. But there you go. It's that simple, guys. So you've got this thermometer in here. I just set it again on that grate there. And let's go over this main unit here. So right here, you're able to set which thermometer it's coming from. As you can see here, it comes with 2. So you can do either this one or that one. That one's marked as the fridge, but you can use it in the freezer as well. It just has the different options there if you want to put one in a fridge instead. And again, going through all the settings, etc. Very simple, easy to use. If you don't want to magnet it to your fridge, that's fine too. I just keep it up here so that I can always know what the temperature is at. And very simple, guys. Super, super simple. Very economical. It doesn't cost much to keep your red gold protected. So let's get back to the video. All right, so there you go. You could see kind of the setup is very simple. It is battery powered. This one is a little bit less high tech, so it doesn't send an alert to my phone, but the alarm is pretty loud. And you can set your max and min. So if it gets too cold, it'll let you know. And if it gets too warm, it'll let you know. I set mine right at about 30 degrees personally, just because, once it's hit above 30, it's going to start to thaw out your meat. The alarm is pretty well heard throughout the house. It is loud for that little system. So highly recommend it, guys. Very economical. And actually, let me look it up real quick. Just live. Again, I'm going to leave that link for you guys. It will help support the show if you go over to Amazon and make that purchase. So I would appreciate that. But also want to make sure you're getting I mean, you're getting everything taken care of. You're taking care of your meat, essentially. Let's see here. So we've got the thermometer was total of a whopping $35. So $34.99 for two. Comes with two, so a set of two here. One is marked as the fridge and one is marked as a freezer, but they can both be used if you have two different freezers. They can both be used in a freezer. When I turn that chest freezer on, once we fill up the standing freezer, then I will put that second one in there as well. That way that, you know, someone at home can be alerted. I'm generally not away from home for weeks at a time. So that alarm will set it off enough to where, you know, one of the kids or my wife can go out and check it. If I was away from home for a long enough time, you know, maybe I'd have someone come in and just check to make sure every couple days, or have a wireless one set up, which I haven't yet found a wireless one that will send information to my phone through the Wi-Fi, and also is battery powered, because you want it to be battery powered, in my opinion, so you don't have what happened to me, where I thought I was being, you know, ready to go, set up, and obviously I was underprepared because I chose to rely on a power source other than battery. So definitely check it out, guys. Really appreciate you tuning into the channel. Again, check out that link. I'll leave it down below or somewhere here in the video. Also get entered into the spotting scope giveaway. You want to make sure you get into that. So again, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, fill out the link down below if you want to get entered. No purchase necessary to get entered in to win the amazing Gen 2 SX4 65mm spotting scope from Leupold. With that being said, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it.